The topic of today's discussion is about the tissues. First of all, I will define tissues, then I will tell you people about the types of tissues in human body, then I will tell you people about the trick to learn the types of the tissues, then we will talk about the functions of the tissues, and then we will talk about in detail a little bit about all the functions and types. Okay, so first of all, tissues. Before moving towards the tissues, I would love to tell you people what tissues are actually, and how many types of cells we have, and what cells are actually. Simple, cell, okay? What is cell? The basic unit of life. From where then the life begins, okay? So cells then group together, then they make tissues. You must know this point also, that there are actually 30 to 40, okay, 30 to 40 trillion cells in our body, and those all cells are actually having then further a few hundred, not five, a few hundreds types of cells are there in our body. 30 to 40 trillion cells, they're composed of few hundred types, and then they group together, they form dozens of the tissues. And four are the very basic that we must remember, and we must understand, and we must have a grip in the very basic to a little bit advanced level. So we have actually four types of tissues. So you might have got what tissues are actually. When cells group together, they make tissues. The very point that you guys must remember, okay? Tissues are actually when several number of or large number of cells group together for a specific function, that is actually called as tissues. So we have actually four types of tissues. Muscular, epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous. We have these four types. Now how to remember? Simple. You have to remember one sentence. In that sentence, all these four types are actually discussed. Men compose four types of tissues. So now M1, E2, N3, C4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. M for muscular, E for epithelial, N for nervous, C for connective. Got now? This is the trick to tell you people about the types of tissues and help you guys remember the types of tissues in human body. I hope you got it. So we have actually four types of tissues, and those four types are actually here in front of you guys. M, E, and C. Men compose four types of tissues. So you got a sentence, and in the sentence you got the trick to learn the types of tissues, the names also, the hints also, and the sentence. One sentence, learn it, memorize it, and understand, get the knowledge about the types of the tissues. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, that's all. Then let's come towards the functions. In a brief, epithelial tissues, they protect, they do secretion in the body, and they absorb. So these are actually the tissues that are doing these jobs. Then we have some kind of jobs of transportation, support, structure, protection. These jobs are actually accomplished by the connective tissues. And then we need somehow signaling in the body that is done by nervous tissues. And then we need movement with respect to the signals, okay? If we receive a signal, then we have to move. Suppose I need a signal to get a marker, or a duster. I would do, and I will take it. So why did I did a movement? And this movement was actually given to me by means of signals. Those signals were by means of the nervous system, and my movement was actually being accomplished by means of the muscles. So we have muscles also, and the muscles are actually the fourth types of the it is the fourth types, the fourth one from the types of the tissues. So I hope you got the types now. So now let's come towards the very first one, epithelial, and let's learn it a little bit more. Epithelial is further composed of simple and stratified. Simple, we have squamous, cuboidal, columnar. Now what actually epithelial tissues are? These are actually large number of cells, and you will find sometimes cells arranged in this fashion in a single layer. So those epithelial cells are given the name as simple epithelial. And if you find several layers of the epithelial cells, then you will give the name to those as stratified epithelial. Simple means in one layer, stratified means in several layers. Okay, so that is the understanding. So in the simple, actually we have squamous, cuboidal, and columnar. So now these simple are actually, they are supposed to do the protection of the internal lining of the body. You know, protection, we need protection internally and externally. Simple, just like what, guess what, we have painting. If we do painting inside the room and outside the room, okay, so we protected and we cleared the room from inside and from outside. This kind of protection is provided to our body internally and externally by means of the epithelial cells. Internally we have in the stomach, in the intestine, in the trachea, in the heart, in the blood vessels by means of simple epithelial cells. And externally we have stratified, squamous, and stratified transitional. Well, transitional is not from the external, it is actually also an internal, but having somehow different type of property. We'll tell you here. First of all, come towards the squamous. Squamous we have keratinized, non-keratinized. Keratinized are actually the dead ones. These are present in the skin, in the nail, in the hair. Okay, hair, nail, and skin. These are actually all the epithelial cells, and they are called as keratinized, squamous. Which one? Stratified. Keratinized, squamous, stratified epithelial cells. Which one? Hair, nail, skin. Then we have non-keratinized. There are all these cells. Actually, the stratified cells, they are having these many layers for the reason. What is that reason? These cells undergo the wear and tear. So our skin, our nails and hair, they undergo wear and tear time and again, and we do have some other areas that they also undergo the wear and tear, just like our eyes. In the conjunctiva we have non-keratinized ones. Then we have in the mouth, then we have in the pharynx, and in the vagina we do have non-keratinized, stratified, squamous epithelial cells. Okay, and then we have transitional epithelial cells. So now the shape of bladder is actually made of by means of epithelial cells known as transitional. So transitional is actually called because of the reason that they actually change their shape and size with respect to the urine. So when there is a increase in the urine formation, the size actually changes, then comes back. So this extension and relaxation is actually being facilitated by the transitional epithelial cells. Which one? Stratified epithelial. Transitional, stratified epithelial. Keratinized, squamous, stratified. Non-keratinized, squamous, stratified. So these two are actually in the squamous. Okay, don't mix all these. And remember, these squamous, cuboidal, columnar, these are the names given to the different shapes of the cells. Squamous are actually having simple shape, and cuboidal have shape like cubes. Cubes, you have seen the cubes. A cubical shape of the sugar is actually the same like cubicle. You know, you have seen cubes in the refrigerator. So, and columnar are actually, the cells are actually just like columns, like this. So different shapes, because of the shapes, cells also get the name. Okay, so in simple we have these three types of shapes, and that's why they are given the name as different types of shapes in the simple epithelial cells. I hope you guys are getting me. I'm speaking very fast because of the charge, the capacity and the charge of the camera. Anyways, coming towards the next one, connective tissues. We have blood, mast cells, bones, macrophages, cartilage, and fat cells. So these all different types of cells combined together, they give connection. Like when bones connect together, they give us connection in sense of support, blood transportation, and we have macrophages and bones, they provide protection again, cartilage, and we have fat cells. So all these different types of cells, they group together, they are called as actually connective tissues. So we have different types of cells in the connective tissues which are providing protection, structure, support, and transportation jobs in our body. One point that I want to tell you about the fat cells is that we have two types of fat cells, brown and white. So when we have babies, or when we were babies, we were having the abundance of the brown fat, but as we grow, then this brown fat decreases, and we just get the number of brown fat in our chest region and our neck region, and rest of the body is then covered by the white fat. And the brown fat contains actually enough amount of mitochondria, and that provide enough energy as compared to the white fat, which is providing insulation and energy, but not that much as compared to brown fat. So brown is actually at birth time, and when we grow and grow older, then this brown fat decreases and moves to the, or actually is limited to the chest region and neck region. Nervous, I told you, providing the signals in the body. So we have excitable neurons and non-excitable neurons. Excitable cells are actually called as neurons, and non-excitable cells are called as glial cells or supporting cells. These cells actually support the excitable cells or neurons. So then it is easy for the neurons to do the transmission of the signals from one side of the body to another, or from the central nervous system to the peripheral organs of the body, or to the sides of the body. So it makes easy to our neurons, to our nerves, to function and to give and receive signal from the body to the body. That's it all about neurons. The last step, the last type of the tissues is muscles type. We have 3 types of muscles in our body. Muscles in the entire body attached to the skeletal system are called as skeletal muscles. And in the GIT we have smooth muscles, and in the heart we have a different type known as cardiac muscles. Given the name because of the heart, that's why those muscles are called as cardiac muscles. Because of the function and structure, these are actually divided into 3 different types. Okay, so function of smooth muscles is actually simple. They're autonomic, they don't control, they're not controlled, and their shape is spindle shape, and they have a nucleus in the center. And we have skeletal muscles, they have cylindrical shape and many nuclei, and we have cardiac muscles, they are cylindrical but they are branched, and they also have nucleus but one in each cell. And here we have several attached to the skeletal muscle. So these 3, because of such kind of arrangement of the nucleus and such kind of lines in the skeletal and cardiac muscles, those lines are called as striations, okay, or strips. So because of this kind of appearance and functions, these are actually divided into smooth, skeletal and cardiac types. So I hope you got the very best overview, and I hope this will help you guys to read more and in easy way about the tissues. So thank you all for watching, and don't forget telling your friends about Dr. YouTube lectures, and that's all from my side. Okay, bye.